You are watching the Southland Conference on ESPN3. The 2017 Southland Conference basketball tournament continues from the Leonard E. Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. We've got a great matchup in the first of two semifinal contests in this tournament. UNO, the top-seeded Privateers, taking on the fifth-seeded Bearcats from Sam Houston State. Hi, everybody. Randy McEvoy coming to you from the Merrill Center, high above the court. We'll toss it down shortly. What a great matchup, and what a year it has been for the top-seeded Privateers from New Orleans and Coach Mark Schlesinger, regular season champions. They're looking to continue their run here in postseason play. Meanwhile, for Sam Houston State, they entered as the fifth seed. They have played back-to-back days. This is their third game in 3 days, trying to stay alive and advance to the men's championship. You see the bracket. The first of two semifinals. The second game will be Stephen F. Austin against the second-seeded Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Who will survive? We're going to find out today. Right now, let's toss it courtside. And the gentlemen who have the call, David Saltzman and Jim Howley. Take it away, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Randy, and great to have you with us tonight. Well, what a story UNO is, Jim. Regular season conference champs. 5 seasons ago, they were preparing to lead Division I, changing course, and outright champions in 2017, taking on a Bearcat squad making its 5th consecutive Southland semifinals appearance.
Well, certainly the Bearcats have the tournament experience, David, but do not sell this UNO team short. What they did on the road in conference play is what gets my attention the most. 6-3 away from home. They're certainly prepared to do the job here in Katy.
Well, one man prepared for Sam Houston the last 2 nights is Chris Galbraith Jr., and he stepped up his game and then some, a double-double against HBU last night.
Well, he picked a good time to get his 5th double-double of the season, 15 points and 10 rebounds, leading the Bearcats to the win over HBU. This youngster can do it all. I love his determination on the backboards. He played terrific defense last night, as he has been all season for the Bearcats. He will certainly be a big focus of UNO's defensive attention here tonight.
And offensively for UNO, look no further than the Conference Player of the Year in Eric Thomas.
Well, Eric Thomas has got to be one of everybody's favorite, probably one of the most consistent players I've ever watched. He scored in double figures in every game for the Privateers this year. He finished in the top 5 in the conference in 3 different statistical categories. What I like best, he shot over 60% from the field, knowing that every team was giving him their maximum amount of attention defensively. He will be a big key to UNO's run here in the tournament.
Jason Hooten has been the head coach of the Bearcats for all 5 seasons. They've made it to at least the Southland Conference semifinals. 7th season overall, averaging almost 20 wins a year. Just one of those 7 seasons, Jim, have the Bearcats finished under 500.
And before becoming head coach, he was the assistant for the Bearcats when they last won this tournament way back in 2010.
And for UNO, what a story again. 5 seasons ago, Mark Schlesinger was the head coach of the Privateers, preparing to go down to Division II, and 5 years later, they are Southland Conference champs, and he admits it was a long, grueling, but most of all, an amazing journey for him and his staff, and they're the top seed here in Katy.
Well, I admire the job Schles has done. Everywhere he's been a winner. I loved the demeanor of his coaching staff and his team this morning. When you and I watched workout, you made the comment, this doesn't look like a game day practice. They were going full speed, and they are ready to play here tonight.
11 years an assistant under Mike McConaughey at Northwestern State. It has been a long time since UNO has knocked off Sam Houston State. 9th meeting all-time between these two teams. Bearcats outlasted UNO January the 12th in New Orleans by just 2. Jim, you have to go all the way back to 1987. That is when UNO knocked off Sam Houston State, long before the Privateers were members of the Southland Conference.
Well, it's been fun to watch their progress back up the ladder to Division I basketball, and I'm anxious to see them play here tonight. They've got a lot of talent. By far the biggest starting lineup in this tournament. 2 6'9" youngsters on the post to go along with Eric Thomas, who's 6'5".
As you look at Traven Thibodeau at 6'9" for UNO, he is the team's assist leader and also member of the Southland Conference all-defensive team. So for Sam Houston State, we've already mentioned a couple of times the experience advantage they have here in Katy. I don't think there's any doubt that played a role in their 2 wins so far over UCA and over HBU.
Well, their defense is good every night. Very aggressive, tough. That's what they hang their hat on. You ask their coaching staff, that's why they think they won the first 2 games here in this tournament.
In addition to Galbraith starting for the Bearcats, Paul Baxter, member of the All-Southland defensive team. Dakari Henderson, leading scorer, key to 12-0 second half run last night. John Dewey III, leading assist man in the Southland. And for UNO, mentioned Eric Thomas and Trayvon Thibodeau already. Christavius Gill, the senior from Alexandria, Louisiana, second on the team in scoring at 12 per game. And the big man at 6'9", the junior from Rumbek, South Sudan, Makur Poe, the team's leading shot blocker.
Well, you mentioned a while ago, David, that Thibodeau was their leading assist maker. How many 6'9" players have you seen in your broadcasting career that lead their team in assists? I'm anxious to see. They run what we all old coaches call the UCLA offense. I'm going to be anxious to see how he gets those assists here tonight.
Bearcats 2-0 here in Katy in 2017, and for all 80 minutes, they have not trailed HBU, tied them twice last night. But again, the Bearcats have not been down in Katy so far. Semifinal Friday underway. Bearcats with the ball first.
That's pretty amazing to never have trailed in 80 minutes of basketball.
Well, they held off second half rallies by both HBU and also UCA on Wednesday night. As Paul Baxter takes it strong to the rim, off the mark, and Tevin Broyles the rebound for the Privateers.
Well, that was a good start for the Bearcats. They just did not get the finish on the shot, but a perfect execution on the first play.
UNO so efficient offensively. They lead the Southland in assists, and they shoot 47% from the floor as a squad.
Well, both these teams, as expected, starting in half-court man-to-man defense.
Baxter the steal. Feeding to Dakari Henderson. Bearcats on the board first.
Well, there was a good reason why Paul Baxter was all defensive team here in the Southland Conference this year, forcing the first turnover for UNO.
Good feed inside as Thibodeau finds Thomas.
Well, what a great pass. You just talked about them being a great passing team. Thomas read the defense perfectly and just slid in behind, baseline side.
Good officiating crew, as you would expect on the conference's biggest stage. Kerry Sitton, Chance Moore, Brooks Wells. SFA, Texas A&M Corpus Christi to follow in our second semifinal as a foul is called on Galbraith.
Yeah, moving screen there. Good call by Brooks Wells. Well, you can see the steal there by Paul Baxter. First turnover of the ball game that led to 2 points for the Bearcats.
Henderson again led that 12-0 second half run after HBU had rallied to tie it. A couple of big threes which lifted the entire team. Huskies did have chances to take the lead late, but St. Houston would hold on by 4. Poe with the jumper.
Boy, what a great pass by Thomas. Talked about he's in the top 5 in 3 different statistical categories. Looked like one of the top assist makers with that pass across the paint.
And here is the Bearcats' first deficit in Katy. Dewey got it knocked away. Outlet pass to Thomas. Tough pass. Broyles recovers and lays it in.
Oh, what a job in transition by the UNO Privateers right there. Great job.
They're a perfect 3 of 3 from the floor. Their first Southland semifinal appearance ever. Aramis Mayauskas.
Well, Bearcats are getting good shots. They've missed 2 easy ones. Mayauskas usually drills that. And of course, we saw that layup miss by Baxter to start the game.
And Thomas with a baseline jumper.
That's an impossible matchup for Paul Baxter when Thomas gets that low down toward the paint. He's 6'5", Baxter's just 6'1".
What a start for the Privateers. Now 4 of 4 from the floor. An 8-0 run. Galbraith, blocking foul.
Well, Galbraith read the defense perfectly. They were on him too tight for the shot. His quickness, he found a way to split the defense and draw the first foul of the game on UNO.
It's Tevin Broyles, senior from Grouchy, Mississippi, picking up his first. Mark Schlesinger, known to everyone as Coach Sless, looks on.
Nice arch on the ball by Galbraith, giving himself a chance for the roll.
He had the biggest game of any Bearcat in the win in New Orleans in mid-January. 21 points, 7 boards. He gets his first 2 here in Katy tonight.
Yeah, Sam Houston State was only 3-6 on the road in conference play, but what a big win that was for them in New Orleans.
Yeah, that was during their 8-game winning streak. They were 8-2 in the league at one point and in first. Lost 6 of their last 8 down the stretch before coming here. Henderson finds Galbraith and the swat. Thibodeau. Broyles. Thibodeau. And Poe cleans it up.
Now there's what 2-6-9 postmen can do for you against a team that the biggest man on the floor is 6'7".
10-4, top seed UNO early. Mayauskas moves on Thibodeau. Inside, nice feed to Galbraith.
Boy, how about that cut from the offside by Galbraith, and Mayauskas made the nice bounce pass. Good teamwork by the Bearcats.
High quality of play from both ends through the game's first 4 minutes. Kristavius Gill. UNO now 5 of 7 from the floor.
A good double screen by UNO to free Gill up for that wide open jump shot.
John Dewey well off. Winner advances to the Southland Championship game tomorrow night. Note the start time 8:30 Central. That'll be on ESPN2. Thibodeau. Unable to finish with the left hand.
Boy, what a great move, though. Got that long arm, had that extension over the Bearcat defenders.
Baxter drives by Thomas. And a charge.
Now UNO showing they've got the good team defensive rotation, just like the Bearcats.
Privateers hot offensively in the early going, and on the defensive end, member of the all-conference defensive team, Trayvon Thibodeau with the swat.
Back at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas, UNO up 10-6 over the Sam Houston State Bearcats. Look at the Bearcats, 1 of 2 field goals. Great pass out of the double team by Mayauskas to Galbraith, breaking down the paint. Perfect execution. This is what a post player is supposed to do. When they see another player coming to double team, somebody's going to be open on the offside. Nice move without the basketball to get open by Galbraith.
Bearcats 2 of 6 from the floor on the early going, and UNO 5 of 8. David Salzman, Jim Haller with you on Semifinal Friday from the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas, where they have played this tournament for 10 years running now. George Rosa and Michael Zeno, both juniors and both on the floor for UNO. Thibodeau's on the bench. Thomas still on the floor. Rosa short. Fight for the board, and Poe finishes in 1.
Poe's getting off to a good start in this game. You can see he's a very emotional player. High intensity, just like all the UNO Privateers are here in the early going. Good defense by Baxter, but watch Poe come in here from the backside, positions himself perfectly for the second chance point.
Already with 6 points to match his season average from Rumbek, South Sudan, by way of one of the best junior college programs in the country, Vincennes in Indiana. 13-6, top-seeded Privateers up.
UNO's defense equally as impressive as their offense so far, getting the job done both ways.
Rebounds favoring UNO, 6-2.
And talking to Coach Schlesinger before the game, that's what he was most worried about. He told me he was very fearful of the Bearcats' aggressiveness on the backboards.
Backdoor feed, Dewey, but unable to control the pass, a turnover.
And so you had the offside help coming across the paint there. UNO's got the Bearcat offense figured out perfectly so far.
Mark Schlesinger's squad, a little bigger, a little more athletic than Sam Houston State. You can tell on the floor early, just 6 minutes in. Nate Fry handling the basketball, was a football star at Houma Christian in Houma, Louisiana, 6 feet, 215. Breaking down Dewey. Dewey got his hand on it, but Fry recovered.
Well, a nice recovery is right, David. Fry was very, very quick in his response to that first miss. Heads up play continuing for UNO.
Foul as well called on Dewey. And Jason Hooten calls timeout. 9-point UNO lead. Jim, UNO already with 5 more field goal attempts than Sam Houston in the early going.
Well, and another detriment to Sam Houston State's early efforts, David, is the fact that they have already had 3 turnovers. In their first game in the tournament, they only had 5 in the entire game. Last night, they only had 7, so early turnovers, a big cause of the Bearcat problems.
UNO mentioned how, and we'll see it now, even back in December 2009, they submitted a proposal to move down to Division III after Katrina in 2005, funding issues among many, and they actually left the Sun Belt Conference in 2010, invited to join the Gulf South Conference in 2011, but then in March 2012 decided to stay in Division I, officially joined the Southland Conference in July 2013, and here they are, March 2017 regular season conference champs, and looking awfully good early here in Katy.
Well, good aggressive man-to-man defense continuing on the part of the UNO Privateers.
And Zeno with the steal. Oh, Privateers early.
Well, they jumped that screen, got right over the top, surprised Sam Houston that time, and forced another Bearcat turnover. Turnover number 4 after only 5 in the total game in their first game of the tournament.
7 in a row for UNO. Dewey tries to change that, and he'll go to the line. Jason Hooten must be concerned early because, Jim, UNO more active to the ball and better on the boards.
Well, their aggressiveness and intensity by UNO here so far in this game does not surprise me. I mentioned it. We saw their early morning practice where they had a lot of spirit. When I walked in, I even saw 3 of their players running the stadium steps on game day. So the adrenaline was flowing early for UNO Privateers.
John Dewey III just missed from the line, but his free throws were key last night. 6 for 6 in the final 26 seconds in the win over HBU.
Yeah, and he was equally impressive in their opening victory over Central Arkansas when he hit 2 big buckets in the last minute and a half. I like Sam Houston State going into this 3/4 court zone press, disrupt the tempo of UNO a little bit, get them out of their comfort zone. Got 2 very smart coaches working here tonight. We'll see a lot of strategy.
10 to shoot. Fry. And a whistle away from the ball. Oh, that's on Galbraith. He has picked up his 2nd. That is on the man who had the double-double for the Bearcats last night in their win over HBU, our Southland Strong player of the game.
Well, that'll bring in Jamal Williams, who made the big defensive play last night for Sam Houston State when he got a steal off of Cantwell. Look at that out-of-bounds execution. Oh, my goodness, is that perfect? Sam Houston State caught trailing on that.
Zeno with the layup. You cannot imagine a better start for this team. So often we see teams without the experience in Katy struggle early, but not tonight. Well, with Mark Schlesinger's squad.
Yeah, and I keep saying, David, when I saw they were 6-3 on the road, I knew this was not going to be intimidating for them at all.
Jamal Williams on the miss. funny that Mark Schlesinger told us earlier today he still sees his team as an underdog. He said, Coach, you're regular season champs. I said, I know, but we were picked 9th in the league, and he didn't see one article that picked UNO to win it here in Katy. So they still have that underdog mantra. Thomas off the mark.
Well, nice rebound by Torrey Butler, who came in for Galbraith. He'll have to pick up the slack because that's a big loss with 2 quick fouls on Chris Galbraith.
Javante Spivey got it swatted away by Zeno. All UNO, 64% shooting. That was 100%. Thunderous dunk by Michael Zeno. They've done it inside and out. 14 for the advantage in the paint. And Jim, points off turnovers already 11 for the Privateers in 8 minutes and 18 seconds.
Well, and they've converted. Sam Houston State has 5 turnovers. UNO has scored off of every one of those. That's just a sensational average this early in the basketball game. Sam Houston State's got to find a way to get their offense clicking. Their last field goal was at the 16:06 mark, so they played about 4.5 minutes without a field goal. The last one, they got the ball low on the block to Mayauskas, and they scored because he was able to dump it off to Galbraith for the easy basket.
And with Galbraith on the bench with 2 fouls, who needs to provide the spark for the team in orange?
Well, they're going to have to do some things to free up shooters. Now, their best outside shooter, Dakari Henderson, isn't on the floor, but they've got to start screening and getting some shooters open. Everything has been on the perimeter. Got to get the ball in this lineup, maybe to Butler down low.
Dewey trying to make something happen and scores.
Oh, what a great play by the young Dewey. Reverse there with his pivot foot back inside with a little floater. That was a terrific job.
Conference assist leader, but averages 10 a game coming in. Thibodeau moves on Torrey Butler. Another feed inside and another layup. Zeno's 3rd field goal.
Well, what a play by Zeno, positioning himself. Sure, that was a great pass by Thibodeau, but Zeno did the hard work getting open. He's from just down the road in Beaumont, Texas. Went to Westbrook High School.
Butler.
Tough luck right there. Good shot. They worked hard to get Butler wide open there at the free throw line. Bearcats have shot very well in the first half of their first 2 games in this tournament, but not so far tonight.
Royal saves to Zeno. That's how it's gone the first half here so far. 10 to shoot. Royals moves on Spivey. Somehow able to score as he falls down underhanded.
Well, Tevin Broyles made the circus shot right there with the kiss off the glass. That was actually a fingertip roll from 5 feet from the bucket.
See if he can get going. Dakari Henderson, the 3-pointer for the senior.
Well, he's the man that can do it. One of the better 3-point shooters in the conference. You just got to find a way to move the ball quick enough to get him open.
For the answer, Gill. UNO 12 of 17 from the floor.
Well, Gill was an honorable mention all-conference player this year. He's by far their leading 3-point shooter on the season, showing us why right there.
Sam Houston just looking to weather the storm, but how long will it last? They double Dewey. Williams to the rim, finishes.
A nice job by Jamal Williams, because that was good help coming over by Tevin Broyles, who had rotated across the paint to help on the drive to the basket, but Williams just went right around him.
Another feed inside. This time Thibodeau finds Gill open. Off the mark.
A good long rebound by Torrey Butler. Thibodeau was coming in right behind him, so it's a good thing he secured the long rebound.
Dewey tried to get it inside to Butler. It was tipped. Gill to the rim. And that's a block. Jim, UNO is getting just about anything at once.
Well, they are. Now, that's the 7th turnover, I believe, in the ball game for Sam Houston State. And every time UNO's converting, they get free throws off of this. 6 turnovers in the ball game. Just think, this is in the first 11 minutes and 17 seconds of tonight's game. They already have more turnovers than they had in their first game.
And that's something because in the 2 wins total for Sam Houston, plus 10 in turnovers, they didn't shoot the ball great, just 37%, but 77% from the line. Big free throws down the stretch in both their wins, but tonight just looking to come back and hope it comes down to free throws.
Well, I keep saying they only had 5 turnovers in that first game. They only had 7 last night. So their floor game has been outstanding along with their defense, but they cannot find anything to slow down UNO here so far tonight.
Our statistician Gene Duffy tells us Privateers have scored on 8 of their last 10 possessions, doubling up the Bearcats. Henderson on the bench now. Galbraith also on the bench with 2 fouls. And Dewey on the bench for Jason Hooten's squad. Baxter at the point. There's just 5 to shoot. Tough step back.
Well, that was great team defense again. I mean, UNO is so good on the ball defensively. It does not make any difference who's handling it for Sam Houston. They're right in their face.
Ten on the shot clock. Thibodeau gets the step on. Williams lays it in.
Well, what a great job by Thibodeau. My goodness, and he did that against a very quick player. Jamal Williams at 6'5". They're outmatched. I said that early on. 2 6'9s are going to beat 6'5", 6'4", 6'6".
No rim protector at all for Sam Houston State right now. Spivey cuts the deficit to 14.
Well, that's 2 nice outside shots for Spivey. Let's see if he can be the spark. No, David, you used the word rim protector. One of the New Orleans assistant coaches this morning kept emphasizing that to their team. Drive to the basket because they don't have a rim protector. That's a terrific outside defense, Sam Houston does, but not in and around the rim.
Spivey draws the charge on Gill, his first foul, but one of many successful drives to the hoop for UNO tonight. Trayvon Thibodeau. No, they're up 14 on Sam Houston. Our Southland Conference standings, UNO outright regular season champs at 13-5. 3-way tie for second. We'll see 2 of those teams in our nightcap, SFA and A&M Corpus Christi. Sam Houston State, early February, led the league at 8-2, but finished 10-8. And they're the 5 seed, having to win 2 games just to make it to tonight's semifinal.
Well, Sam Houston State has indeed been on a roller coaster. Won 8 in a row at one time, then lost 6 of their last 8, but now they've come back and won 2 straight in the tournament.
Albert Almanza, maybe the Bearcats' best 3-point shooter, and for Sam Houston State, sophomore from Austin. Bearcats unable to connect around the rim, and
did you see how high Zeno skied there for that defensive board? He may be listed as 6'6", but look how long his arms are. My goodness, and he's got the great vertical jump. Number 11 right there, Michael Zeno. He's the one I was talking about. He had that vicious chunk out of full court transition earlier.
Tie up in the ball to the Privateers. They already have production from 7 of their 8 players who have seen the floor. 8 on the shot clock.
Now Sam Houston State changing up their defense a little bit now, playing some zone.
And a foul on UNO. That'll be on Poe. Can't be surprised about that move to the zone, how UNO against the man defense was able to get to the rim frequently.
Well, and I respect Jason Hooten. He's normally just a man-to-man defensive guy, but he knows he's got to do some changing here to change the flow of this basketball game. Got to get UNO a little uncomfortable on the offensive end.
Dewey still on the bench for Sam Houston State, getting a breather. There's Spivey. Now with 9 to shoot. Paul Baxter. The 3, Delaney. And Mayauskas the offensive rebound.
Well, very nice job by Mayauskas going to get the long one on the baseline.
Second chance falls for Delaney, and the Bearcats within 11. Bearcats just looking to creep back in this one. UNO has dominated so far. Zeno, hard move to the rim. He has 8, came in averaging just over 4 a game.
Well, he is so active here tonight. He's not missing an opportunity.
UNO is up to 70% shooting now. Foul out high. Be on Rosa, his first.
Well, Spivey and Delaney have certainly come off the bench to hit some key outside shots for the Bearcats.
Depth is solid on both these teams.
Spivey's hit 2 long balls. Delaney 1, and Dewey back on the floor in place of Spivey.
If you're UNO, you got 32 on the board, 5 minutes to go first half, and just 4 from your Conference Player of the Year and Eric Thomas. Positive sign. So you expect Thomas to heat up offensively as this game goes along. Now they just got Rosa for his 2nd foul. First Privateer with 2.
Well, this game being called tight so far. This experienced crew is certainly going to keep control of this basketball game, knowing that there's 2 volatile teams in action out here, very high-spirited.
Well, in the only regular season meeting between these 2 squads, Sam Houston State jumped out to the early lead, led by 12 at the break, had to hold off UNO late, just won by 2. So the Bearcats looking to turn the table and come back here on the conference's biggest stage. Good anticipation.
And I'm telling you, their quickness defensively is just astounding. I am so impressed. Their scouting report is absolutely spot on. Everywhere Sam Houston State wants to go with movement, they are there.
Kristavius Gill, after the steal, drills the 3.
Well, Gill putting on a show here early. You can see why he was honored as an honorable mention in the all-conference team.
4-year Privateer, 1,331 points in his career, 9th all-time. Baxter. I think maybe Zeno got a piece.
I think he did.
10 to shoot. Dewey back on the floor. Got hammered by Poe.
Well, Dewey is very good at that drive and then the ball fake and head fake, drawing the foul.
Kristavius Gill doing it on both ends after the big steal. Drains his 2nd 3 of the night. Top-seeded UNO dominating early.
We're back live at the Merrill Center here in Katy, Texas. 3:59 to go first half. Top-seeded New Orleans having their way with the 5th-seeded Bearcats from Sam Houston State. I'm Randy McAvoy. Coming up on the halftime report here from the Katy Merrill Center, we're going to visit with the mayor of Katy. That'd be Fable Hughes. He's been around a long time. Very happy to have this tournament here in Katy. We'll also talk about training for success, talk about keeping these Southland student athletes in shape, ready to play basketball over the course of a few-day period here at the tournament. We'll have that coming up as well. Also, highlights and stats with David and Jim. Game 1 of 2 semifinal games here at the Southland Conference Tournament. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Randy. Our 2nd semifinal, the 3-time defending tournament champs, 3rd seed SFA against the 2 seed Texas A&M Corpus Christi. This is UNO's first semifinal appearance in the Southland. Can't tell by the way they're playing early so far.
Well, they have been near perfect, especially on the defensive end. And then you look at the offensive end, they're shooting right at 72%. They've hit 15 out of 21 shots to start this game. 2 out of 3 from three-point land. They must have brought their gumbo, their beignets, and the boudin. They are hitting on all cylinders.
Whatever they brought, if they keep this performance up, they'll have it after the game and tomorrow, at least twice before the championship on Saturday night.
Now Sam Houston staying in the zone, trying to change the tempo of the offense.
Mayowska's call for the foul, and this will be a 1-and-1.
Well, good job by Thibodeau posting up down there low against the zone defense.
UNO, their conference title first since 1997, and they're guaranteed their first postseason appearance since 97, since if they don't win it all here in Katy, they will play in the NIT. By the way, head coach of the Privateers, last time they made it to the postseason 2 decades ago, Tick Price, now the head coach of Lamar. He was also head coach of UNO in '96. Last time they made it to the NCAAs. Mark Schlesinger looking to be head coach in his first NCAA tournament.
Well, in case our viewers might not know, UNO is guaranteed at least an NIT appearance, even if they don't win this tournament. So they're going to be rewarded regardless for winning the league crown.
Mark Schlesinger is no stranger to the NCAA tournament. Longtime assistant under Mike McConaughey. Teams have made their share of NCAA tournament appearances. Looks like an overrule on this.
Yeah,
Paul Baxter flew into the
UNO
bench.
fans right over there in front of their section behind the Privateers bench, and they're not happy about the reversal.
They will give it to the Bearcats. 3:20 to go in the first half. Chance to get it to within a dozen. Almanza.
Well, he wasn't balanced up there, but the smallest man on the floor, John Dewey, keeping it alive.
That's Butler, his first two. And Sam Houston within 12.
Well, Torrey Butler's a very active and quick player around the bucket at 6'7". He can compete inside against these bigger Privateers of UNO.
Thomas. Short. Bearcats looking to make a late run.
Well, certainly UNO does not look quite as comfortable against the zone as they did this with their precision man-to-man offense.
Butler able to wrestle the pass away from Gill. It's a 6-0 Bearcat run.
Well, but how about that drop-off pass by Paul Baxter? That was nice play by the senior leader.
Loud as the Bearcat fans behind us have been all night. 8 on the shot clock. Thomas.
Well, that's not much movement on those possessions the last 3 times by UNO. This zone defense was a good idea by Coach Jason Hooten.
Thibodeau with the steal.
You can't have the stops and then come back and give another turnover. That's the 8th one this half for the Bearcats.
Now Mark Schlesinger will call timeout because, as you just mentioned, they're struggling against this zone. He'll get his clipboard out with 1:40 to go.
Well,
in the
they're
first.
getting the ball the last 2 possessions to Eric Thomas at the head of the circle, but nobody else was moving, so all Sam Houston is doing is matching up. And that is not going to get the job done, so you can look for more movement coming out of this timeout by the Privateers.
I've highlighted already, and it is worth doing as many times as we can, the up and down of this program over the past just 5 years. And we've already mentioned they were going to Division II, already had announced that, and Mark Schlesinger was the head coach of the Privateers 5 seasons ago. That's the 2011-2012 campaign. Their last game that season, a loss at Selma University of Alabama, an NAIA school. They had to go on the road to face NAIA teams just to complete the schedule. And now, 5 years later, they are Southland Conference champs. Mark Schlesinger, what a huge part. Of course, he has played in that. And the New Orleans community rallying around their Privateers. Baxter got the tip. Oh, a foul. Jason Hooten can't believe it. Very upset at Kerry Sitton, who blew his whistle from the opposite end of the floor.
They call that on Dakari Henderson on the reach, or was that on Butler?
Baxter.
Baxter, Paul Baxter. Wow.
Boy, from here it looked like it was clean. We'll take another look. You know, a little forearm in the back.
Yeah, in the back there, but that I would be one to let them play on that. Like I said earlier, they're calling this game very close. They're trying to keep control as they know it could get heated.
Thomas's first point in a while. Conference Player of the Year. 15 times this season he scored 20 or more. He's now up to 6. Baxter goes out with his 2 fouls. Spivey checks in for him. How important is it for Sam Houston to get this within single figures at halftime, the way things have gone?
Well, I always thought if you could get it down to single figures, psychologically, you know you're on your way back to making something special happen, and that's the way I would look at this.
Over and back, won't help. Jason Hooten telling Chance Moore that ball was tipped. Whistle should not have been blown. Couple of close calls going against the 5th-seeded Bearcats in the last 30 seconds.
Well, the biggest blow to the Bearcats has been the loss of Chris Galbraith 4 minutes into the game. And he picked up his second foul.
Oh, what a block by Butler.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, no.
Dewey's ankle.
Dewey landed hard on a privateer, and he is holding that right leg.
Yeah, it came down. It's his ankle.
And they couldn't rule who the ball went off of, so a jump ball, the look of the arrow, it will go to the Bearcats. But, of course, the biggest concern is with the conference's assist leader. Ooh, right there. Roll that right ankle. We'll take a second look.
Yeah, just got the legs crossed in there is all that happened, and that is enough to tweak that ankle, but it looks like Dewey's going to stay in the ball game.
But after seeing the initial reaction from him, I can't believe he's good enough to stay. But what great news, obviously, is the all-conference guard will hang in there for the final 58-4 of this first half. Sam's already taken their use it or lose it timeout, and Dewey gingerly dribbling the ball down the floor.
Well, UNO just keeping that pressure on the basketball. Look at Gill up there.
Dewey on the drive, unable to finish. Oh, and an offensive foul.
Well, that's a tough break for Dewey. He made a great play to slice and dice that UNO defense. They're just so tough in there. That may have been a legitimate beef right there.
Well, that is 3 tough calls going against Sam Houston now in the last minute plus.
Well, now that I'm no longer a coach, I'll say this. Those things normally will even out, but certainly Sam Houston State has not gotten any breaks here tonight from the stripe shows.
Jason Hooten picks up a technical foul. And perhaps, as you just mentioned, in hopes of getting maybe a few more calls down the way. Those last 3, again, were close.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, with 35 seconds to go in the half, that would not have the impact it would during the flow of the game. And Jason Hooten has a right to be flustered, but you sure don't want to make a bad situation worse by picking up technical fouls when your team's that far behind.
It was pretty obvious. Him getting the tee was no accident. He clapped his hands after Chance Moore teed him up. Still UNO ball now, with the lead up to 14.
Well, there's not a more intense coach in the Southland than the man you're looking at right there, Jason Hooten. He has now, David, had a 20-win season 3 out of the last 4 years, so he's doing a top-notch job leading this Bearcat program.
And this is the 5th straight year they made it to at least the semis. A model of consistency. Close to a 5-second differential, shot clock and game clock. Alley-oop. Butler got the tip. And they'll say rather it went off Thomas. Butler was there defensively.
Well, good defense by the Bearcats. That I don't think was a wise play by UNO. All the smart plays they've made here tonight, but have a 14-point lead. You don't need to take chances.
Spivey runs it up, and that'll do it in the first half. UNO cooling off down the stretch, but still 63% shooting. The top seed making the drive down I-10 to Katy. In control from the outset, 14-point lead. Advance to their first Southland final ever, 39-25, the lead over the 5th seed Sam Houston State. Eric Thomas, the player of the year in the Southland, 20 points a game for UNO coming in, and he has 8 so far tonight. Liam Thomas, nation's leader in blocks, the defensive player of the year. Jalen Hart from UIW, the newcomer of the year. Jelani Friday, part of a great young ACU team, the freshman of the year. And Mark Schlesinger, of course, coach of the year for the Privateers, helping UNO to not just his first Southland title ever, first conference title of any kind in 20 years for the program.
Well, that's 2 years in a row. Abilene Christians had the freshman of the year. You said it, lots of young players out there. They'll be eligible for this tournament next year.
Right, in addition to UIW. UNO with the ball first as we begin the second half. And Trayvon Thibodeau, the open elbow jumper, falls.
Well, I'm really impressed with Thibodeau. He's got a good all-round game. We haven't even mentioned much about him making the all-defensive team. So 2 all-defensive performers on the court now, 1 for each squad. Baxter for Sam Houston, Thibodeau for the Privateers.
Bearcats as a team, Jim, coming in. 54 games of Southland Conference tournament experience. This is a talented, prideful group. Let's see how they respond early in the second half as UNO has controlled it from the outset. 5 to shoot for Dewey. That was tipped by Thomas. Mayauskas gets it off in time.
Well, good job by Mayauskas. Very smart play. He saw that shot clock winding down. Got rid of it quickly.
His first points tonight, and he struggled here in Katy. 5 points total since Wednesday night. Just at about 75% coming off ankle and hamstring injuries. And Mayauskas defensively altered the shot. Here comes Dewey.
Well, fortunately, Dewey looks healthy with that ankle that got tweaked in the latter part of the first half.
Galbraith forced it with a triple team around him, and UNO with the basketball.
Well, that was a real blow for Sam Houston State, losing Galbraith to the 2 fouls early.
Poe inside. Thomas works on Baxter.
Perfect job of posting up against the much smaller Baxter, but he just did not get the friendly finish.
So who will provide the offensive spark for the Bearcats? Mayauskas.
There you go. That's what they need to do. Get it down low and then get it to the open man.
Dewey to Galbraith. Deficit down to 12.
Well, you see the emphasis right now. They're getting it in there. It didn't take a rocket scientist to know that's the thing to do to get back in this ball game. That and eliminate the turnovers.
It's been a long while since Sam Houston's even been within single figures. Gill.
Well, Gill had made 2 of those in the first half, but he was off balance on that shot.
Now Mayauskas called for the foul, slammed the ball to the court, and Brooks Wells thought about teeing him up. And if you would have, it would have been the 4th on Mayauskas. Instead, he just picks up his 3rd.
Well, that was good judgment on the part of Brooks Wells, one of the top young officials in the country. Works in conferences around the nation, but I like the judgment.
And off the bat of Dewey, Broyles couldn't finish. Nate Fry there, and he's fouled.
Boy, what a heads-up play. Was that Broyles that threw it in?
Yep.
What a heads-up play. Watch this right here. Well, when you turn your back to the man throwing the ball in, you're just opening yourself up to trouble, and Dewey totally turned his back. Not smart.
The rare took us pass.
It's always ball you man. You've got to know where the ball is, and then you've got to be between the ball and your man. But you've got to see the basketball.
Fry puts UNO up 14.
UNO's doing all the little things here that make a big difference when you get down to championship play. This is interesting how UNO's sliding behind some screens and going over the top on others. Good job by Mayauskas. I think that was him.
Mayauskas, the senior. Spivey, Henderson seniors. Paul Baxter, Torrey Butler seniors. They know what's at stake here. Want to finally make it to the NCAA tournament. They've never been.
Good defense by Baxter right there.
And then inside Galbraith, the block on Gill.
Good team defense.
Baxter. Lead for UNO still 12. Last time Bearcats were within single figures, 15-6. Eight to shoot. Broyles around Dewey. Strong move with the left hand.
Well, I'm so impressed the way UNO takes advantage of mismatches on defense. That time Broyles being guarded by the 6-foot Dewey. All he had to do was turn and move to the bucket. Easy play for the Privateers.
Galbraith inside. Mayauskas has two more.
Well, Mayauskas much more active here in the second half. He knows his teammates are trying to get him the basketball.
His 10th Southland Conference tournament game tonight.
Now the Bearcats have to put a stop to UNO.
Foul out high. And Baxter has picked up his third. Timeout on the floor. Bearcats now matching UNO in terms of intensity. But UNO still getting the job done offensively. Tevin Broyles. Sam Houston's only lead 2-0 as they try to continue to scrape back in this first semifinal. Jason Hooten, longtime assistant at Sam Houston, and he was assistant on the last Southland Conference Tournament Championship team for the Bearcats in 2010, trying to make it to the NCAAs as a head coach, joining the coaching staff back in 2004, and led the Bearcats to the program's first two national tournament wins, that in the CIT in 2014 and 2015.
And led them to 20 victories 3 out of the last 4 years, so an impressive run for Jason Hooten.
Foul away from the ball on Thibodeau.
Yeah. Good call right there by Kerry Sitton, a veteran official. He saw Thibodeau on the hole that time.
After at one point, Jim, shooting 71% from the floor. Since then, UNO has gone cold, and in fact, this half just 2 of 7. Sam Houston State 4 of 8.
Yet the Bearcats have only been able to gain 2 points through the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Right. Good anticipation. Gill the steal. Every time it seems like the Bearcats will get it to within 9 or 10, UNO with an answer.
Well, UNO is so good at anticipating that bounce pass, one pass away. UNO great at jumping into the passing lane. This is an aggressive, well-coached defensive machine tonight. There you go. Another tip out off the play in the passing lane to Eric Thomas. There's 2 more turnovers to add to the Bearcat total. That's been their #1 Achilles heel here tonight.
This is incredible. UNO in points off turnovers, 24-5 the edge. Sam Houston plus 10 in turnovers the first 2 games here. Henderson off the mark. How deflating can those turnovers be? Now Gill for 3!
Well, this is UNO's night. Perfect execution almost on both sides of the basketball. Great defense has led to great offense.
Biggest lead for the Privateers, and the Bearcats call timeout. Out of the timeout, a 7-0 UNO run. Up 19, looking to advance to their first Southland Conference final ever. Keyed by turnovers.
Well, and you're going to see the deflection by leading scorer Eric Thomas right there, getting the ball up the floor to Thomas. Now watch him get the finish with the reverse layup. Great team basketball, great team defense. And here getting the ball up to Gill, who drills another 3-pointer for the Privateers. Privateers hitting on all cylinders here in the second half.
And this has been a theme all game. Mentioned before our break, UNO 24 points off turnovers, but that's just off of 12 Bearcat turnovers.
Well, it's just amazing their consistency of conversion. I'm not sure I've ever seen a game where almost every single turnover has led to points.
UNO the last 2 seasons before this one, 6-12 in the Southland. 13-5 this season, outright conference champs. 18-11 overall. Coming into tonight, an 8.5 win differential from last season, 11th best in all of the nation. Looking to add to that here if they can hold on for the final 14. Mayauskas inside. Galbraith unable to muscle it up successfully.
Well, they scored on that play in the first half when they double-teamed Mayauskas down low and Galbraith broke down the paint. Just not able to get it this time.
The UNO squad led the league in assists coming in, so far 10 tonight. And a charging call down low.
A nice play by Delaney. He slid across that paint as soon as he saw the penetration coming by Nate Fry. That's good team defensive rotation for the Bearcats.
Fry's second, UNO second foul of the half. Jason Hooten hoping for a comeback here. Runners up here in Katy, 2014 and 2015, losing both times to SFA. Lumberjacks and A&M Corpus Christi in our nightcap, a rematch of last year's championship game. Dakari Henderson strong to the rim, but too hard. Dewey, got it, that's a three.
Well, Mayauskas ought to get one of those points on that. He got the great offensive rebound and not make the nice kick out to Dewey.
And then Dewey, the great effort on the inbounds. This Bearcat team's not going to go down quietly. Plenty of time left as Mayauskas gets a big hand as he takes a breather. It's the best stretch of basketball he's had in Katy easily. He's up to 6 points, 5 rebounds tonight. Inside Thomas. Butler altered the shot, and he has the rebound.
Well, that was a great pass by Thibodeau. He's continuing to show us why he's the leading assist man for this Privateer team at 6'9". Well, listen to that talking going on defensively for UNO. That's a lost art. You don't see enough teams talking that loudly, that aggressively, making sure their teammates know where they are.
What active hands by this UNO team all night. Thomas got the tip. 9 to shoot for Sam Houston State. Bearcats just down 16 due to second chance points. 16 of their 36 points off second chance opportunities.
Well, and you combine quick feet, quick hands with good basketball IQ like all these UNO players have, it spells trouble for the opponent, and it's just been too much for the Bearcats to handle here tonight. All phases of the game has been dominant by the Privateers.
You know, there's a thought the Bearcats may have the depth advantage tonight, but that has not been the case at all. Everyone on the floor has made an impact for the regular season conference champs in UNO. 13 for Gill, 10 for Eric Thomas, 8 off the bench for Zeno, 7 for Poe, 6 for Broyles, and 4 apiece Thibodeau and Nate Fry, who came in combined averaging 19 a game. So Mark Schlesinger's squad getting some production from bench players he normally doesn't see that volume of production from. Tough inbounds to Galbraith. And Thibodeau too close, picks up the foul.
Well, I was just going to say that was remarkable. He could guard that tightly without picking up at least a bump, and sure enough, it happened, but not really smart there.
That is his second. 3 team fouls on both squads here in the second half.
Well, after playing so brilliantly the first 2 games, John Dewey just has not been quite as sharp here tonight. Those 5 first-half turnovers, very detrimental. But he's just a sophomore. This time last year, he was playing down the road at Glenn Junior College. He will learn a lot here tonight.
Still amazed he's in. He rolled his right ankle in the first half and came down in such pain.
Shows me the toughness he's got.
Well, I thought he was done. Nice give-and-go feed. 2 and a foul, Nate Fry.
How about that strength by Fry right there? There's where that football-type body pays off in basketball. They bumped him, did not even phase him. Great concentration all the way to the rack. Dewey bumps him from behind. Fry got the nice finish.
Dewey's 4th foul.
Look at this, great pass.
And UNO up 18. Top seeds looking solid from the outset here in Katy. Traven Thibodeau Jr. from Plaquemine, Louisiana, feeling it, although plenty of time, 11:45 to go in this one. But again, the theme is every time you think Sam Houston's going to make it close, someone different for UNO has an answer, including Nate Fry at the line.
Well, Nate Fry had a great finish on that basket there, making the hard cut to the bucket, and here we go. UNO continuing their dominance on the boards. George Rosa getting the big offensive miss off the free throw.
Chance for UNO to take its biggest lead. Thibodeau, though, couldn't control the pass.
Well, only the 7th turnover of the ball game for New Orleans, 12 for Sam Houston State.
After struggling to begin the half, UNO has made 4 of its last 5 shots. They're up to 50% this half, and Sam Houston State, 39% this half, 38% for the game.
University of New Orleans, 60% the first, 62.5% the first half, 50% the second. That's a pretty tough combination.
Galbraith trying to get it going and finishes.
Galbraith was a tough situation for Sam Houston early in this ball game when he went out with the 2 fouls.
And he gets the block.
He is so quick. Good pass into Zeno, but terrific leaping ability there by Galbraith, getting the clean block on the play.
Last UNO conference tournament title, 1996, when they were members of the Sun Belt. That's when Tick Price was the head coach. Of course, Tick now at Lamar. He's probably called on Zeno.
Now another turnover now for New Orleans. Zeno shuffled his feet right there. UNO only had 4 or 5 turnovers at the half. Yeah, they had 4. Now they've already got 4 here in the second half of action.
Privateers have never beaten the Bearcats as a Southland Conference member.
Well, Sam Houston State did a good job freeing up Dakari Henderson with that double screen.
Henderson helped the Bearcats to keep possession, and oh, what a block, but a foul. But Zeno will make Galbraith earn this from the charity stripe.
Boy, what athleticism going against each other right there. Watch Galbraith, how quick he is going to the bucket, but Zeno came all the way over. My goodness gracious. He got all ball originally, but he came down.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. I thought at first glance it was clean, but did get him with the body after knocking the ball away.
I think he actually caught him in the side of the head with that follow-through.
Wipe off the spot where Bearcats dove for the loose ball. Let's take a look again at Zeno's attempt at a block. This is in real time now.
Zeno has got the great hops. Look at how quick. You see that smile on his face? He knew he did something special.
We've seen teams not used to this stage be a little overwhelmed by the moment. But UNO from the start has been so confident. Very impressive. Again, oftentimes you see the opposite.
Absolutely, you are right, but this is not what I would call normal team. This is a very tough, hard-nosed group of young men, and I've said it already twice, don't want to overdo it, but when I saw they were 6-3 on the road in conference, that is very, very impressive, and that's carrying over here tonight.
Good pass inside, and Thibodeau missed the dunk.
Well, those are the kind of misses you don't want to happen, even if you've got a 15-point lead.
Delaney cuts it to 12, 5-point turnaround.
There could be a bet. You're exactly right, partner. 5-point turnaround in any game can be very significant. Let's see if the Bearcats can build off of it.
Bearcats a 6-0 run.
Nice
and
job.
Get the ball back.
Yeah, Torrey Butler had his hand in the passing lane. Nice deflection. Watch Delaney right here getting his second long ball of the night. He drilled it. Nothing but confidence right there.
So it's been a few minutes, but now another chance for Jason Hooten's squad to get it to within single figures.
I'm trying to get Dakari Henderson open for another shot. They got the good double screen a while ago to free him up. Let's see if they can do it again. they're doing it for Delaney. Too quick. He rushed that shot. They ran the same play for Delaney that I was calling for Dakari Henderson. Delaney had just hit the long ball on the possession before, but way too fast on that release.
Bearcat fans behind us. Feeling the momentum now. Chance at a stop and another chance to get it to within 9 or 10. Fry, no look inside Thomas. Oh, Galbraith picks up the foul, disagrees with the call. He has just picked up his third.
Well, I just can't get over the overall passing ability of this UNO ball club. Every player on the floor can make the nice assist, and they're showing it here tonight from every position.
So 3 on Galbraith, 3 on Baxter, 3 on Mayauskas.
Well, Eric Thomas is a 77% free throw shooter on the season.
Born in Entre Rios, Argentina. It comes from a basketball family. Father James played hoops at Arizona State, and his mom, Fabiana, played professionally in South America. And they moved to the States when Eric was 6, looking for better educational opportunities, and of course now finding amazing opportunities to play basketball.
Well, he'll be playing somewhere at the next level. He's got too much all-around ability.
I don't think the shot clock started. Eric Thomas is well-traveled. Freshman year at East Georgia State College, then transferred to Baton Rouge Community College his sophomore year. UNO was one of the first programs on him, and in fact, very few programs from Division I were even on Eric Thomas. He said he got some overtures from East Tennessee, Boise State, but UNO on him hardest, and aren't they happy for that? Conference Player of the Year as Broyles picks up the foul.
Well, we're going to see a player in the next game that was probably a close second for Player of the Year, Rashawn for Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He is something else also.
An argument could have been made for him. 22 points, 8.5 rebounds a game as the inbounds pass gets away from Galbraith. Thomas challenging Galbraith, and Galbraith has picked up his 4th.
Well, nice job by UNO to challenge him. They know how important he is to the Sam Houston State lineup. They're taking it right at him.
8:41 to go. You're down 14. Do you take him out? And it looks like the answer is yes. Almanza will check in after the first free throw. It's something, Coach Haller. Eric Thomas is the only privateer to make an all-conference team, period, as Player of the Year, but no one else made the first, second, or third teams.
Yeah, Gill was honorable mention.
Yep.
Of course, the way that works, 5 players on first, second, third, and then they pick 5 honorable mention players. So Gill picked as one of the top 20 players in the league. Is still quite a compliment.
Eric Thomas is 8 of 8 from the line. Privateers back up 16. Henderson passed up a 3 and made a tough shot.
Boy, beautiful play off the glass by Dakari Henderson. He's known as the outside shooter, so they're guarding him tightly.
Started the Bearcats 12-0 second half run after HBU tied it last night. Could that start a Bearcat run here as we approach 8 minutes to go? Foul on the floor.
They're going to get Delaney against a much bigger player there. That's the size advantage, and I'm very impressed with the way UNO keeps taking advantage of those matchups. Tevin Broyles was being guarded by the 5'11" Delaney.
And it's the 17th foul, so a 1-and-1 coming for the senior in Broyles. 71% from the line.
You know, Sam Houston State's playing much better this half, but unfortunately for them, UNO's still playing well, so it's still a 14-point deficit. It's all even in the second half, but got to find a way to cut into that margin.
Baxter moves on Fry, couldn't finish, ball slipped out of his hands. foul on Baxter.
That was a frustration foul right there. He knew he should have made that layup on the last drive. He made a good move. His last 2 fouls have been frustration fouls out at midcourt.
And that is his 4th. 7:40 left for the Bearcats to try to come back. But UNO's had a double-digit lead in most of this one. It is the Katy Kids Dribble presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. It begins at 10 a.m. Fun-filled morning of hoops excitement with bounce houses, cheerleaders, and mascots. And I'm told Jim Haller's going to get there first.
I'll be there 9:45. I'll be getting me a free T-shirt, partner.
So for 299 of you, you can also get free basketballs and T-shirts. Now, if it's shine, it's outside the Merrill Center. If it's raining, it'll be inside the Rodeo Pavilion here at the Merrill Center. And to sign up, go to southland.org/kidsdribble. Actually, $298. I want to come too. Okay?
I love it. Let's do it.
That's always a fun event put on by this amazing Southland Conference staff who are here all week. To put on a tournament is one thing. To do it so smoothly is another. And Bruce Ludlow and company, for a decade now, they have done this at the Merrill Center, and so happy to be here again.
And to do it with enthusiasm and like they want you back again, which they have been doing for 10 years. I love it.
So the deficit for Sam Houston State, 14. Winner gets the winner of our second semifinal, SFA and A&M Corpus Christi. And Jim, every time the Bearcats have a chance to make a run, they commit a turnover.
You know, we saw them working on this in their practice this morning, and this is just doing exactly as their coaches said they could do. Jumping those screens is making a big difference.
28 privateer points off turnovers. And Butler forces it. Under 7 to go.
Well, Sam Houston State, as they've been most of the ball game, staying man-to-man. They actually had their best luck when they went to the zone defense 3 or 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Inside player of the year, Eric Thomas off the mark, but Poe saves the ball.
Look at that quickness by Poe.
Gill misses the 3.
You know, I knew UNO had a lot of athleticism, but I had no idea they had so much quickness at every position. There you go. I keep saying, get the ball to Dakari Henderson. He's the man that can make a difference. That time, 2 steps outside the three-point line.
He has 10. Jason Hooten calls timeout. Privateers have 1 left as we take another look.
Well, watch Dakari Henderson. There's no such thing as too far out for this young man. The senior who has been a leader for this Bearcat team for 4 years, doing it again right here. He had the phenomenal first half in the first round game here when he had 14 points at the half on 4 3-point baskets. He's got 2 3-point baskets here tonight.
And he's been up and down this season, expected to be an all-conference player, but was not yet. Jason Hooten has told him throughout the course of the campaign, stay confident, keep shooting. And that 3 gives the Bearcats some hope here. Bearcats 1 timeout left, Privateers 3 left at the 6:10 mark.
Now Dakari Henderson with 10 points in the ball game. John Dewey not far behind with 8. Now Gill wisely just telling his teammates to clear out. He saw it was a man-to-man press. Get all the others out of the way and let one man bring it up. If it's a zone trap, you're going to pass it up the floor.
Quick first step, Thomas on Almanza. And Thomas to the line. Almanza's first. And the Bearcats 9th.
Well, University of New Orleans just relentless in their attack here tonight. There's been no let up from start to right now with 5:53 to go in the game.
You know, Jim mentioned that Eric Thomas's parents both played basketball, but also Eric's sister Stephanie played at Clemson. Other sister Sisisha played at Oregon State. I would have loved to have seen those games in the Thomas's driveway growing up.
That was fun. Is good reason why this youngster is so outstanding in all phases of the game. Led the Southland Conference in field goal percentage, over 60% for the year.
Thomas is up to 16 and 10 of 10 from the line. Almanza short on the 3. Gill Thomas, slam dunk, 17-point lead.
How about that pass up the floor? Was that Gill or Fry that made that great pass? That was a terrific assist. The perfect lead by Gill.
Bearcats in trouble now. Henderson looks to respond and does his third three.
Well, Dakari Henderson, I'm telling you, the guy keeps setting some picks. Free him up. Sam Houston State's playing much better offense this half, but they just can't get stops on the other end as good as they've been defensively in this tournament in the first two games.
UNO 55% from the floor. Rosa off the mark. Henderson moves on Gill. Butler the follow.
Boy, nice job by Torrey Butler. That's great effort following in behind in transition.
Is this the Bearcats' run they've been waiting on? Back to within 12. Rosa. Poe couldn't control the rebound. Blocking foul.
Well, that was a nice effort by Gill that time. Close to drawing the charge, but Gary Sitton made the right call. He was still moving a little bit into the path of the dribbler.
16 foul, no free throws coming for the Bearcats, but they will have it. Cameron Delaney checks in. First time we've seen him tonight for Sam Houston State.
Obviously the brother of Josh Delaney, who's made a couple of nice outside shots for the Bearcats. Josh Delaney is very, very quick. His brother also.
Both Delaney's on the floor. Here's Josh. But did not hit the shot clock. It stays in play. And Butler unable to cut it to 10. Dewey, though, got the strip to cut it to 9. Dewey chases it down.
Boy, what great effort by part of both teams.
Fourth chance this possession for Sam Houston State. Dewey. They had their chances.
They did. Got 4 offensive rebounds out of 1 possession that time. Got to love the Bearcats' effort.
Under 4 to go in our first semifinal.
You know, Tevin Broyles at 6'4" out there handling the basketball, getting a little careless.
Cameron Delaney the steal, challenges Poe. 2 free throws coming. UNO has had an answer all night. Kristavius Gill, Eric Thomas, Player of the Year, hoping his top-seeded Privateers can move on. Until tomorrow night, championship game, 8:30 p.m. Central, ESPN2, but still with work to do. Yet Jim Haller, a chance to cut the deficit to 10. It was at 19 at one point in the second half.
Well, obviously putting Delaney, the other Delaney, into the ball game is making a difference. Cameron showing his quickness right there after the steal in transition. Now let's see if he can make free throws.
So Cameron Delaney, transfer from Denver, 4 points a game, 14 of 19 from the line this season. Before that one.
That's hard to do coming in a ball game like this, is sitting there for 35 minutes, and he comes in and makes the nice defensive play, knocks down 2 free throws.
Closest they've been since 35-25.
Well, Dakari Henderson, a big part of that comeback. He's got 3 3-point baskets in the ball game, 2 of them here in the last several minutes. Poe does a good job of relieving pressure. He's so quick, he can bounce out from that post position.
6 to shoot. Thomas.
Well, that was a good shot. Sam Houston State backed off the leading scorer, knowing he's more dangerous on penetration than he is on the outside shot.
Cameron Delaney, got it!
Well, what a contributor coming off the bench. 5 quick points, 2 great defensive plays. This is a ball game, partner.
Closest they've been since 13-6. And Dewey called for the foul, going for the tip from behind. A 10-0 run, but now if the Bearcats want to complete it, they'll have to do it without their all-conference point guard who was fouled out.
Well, putting Josh Delaney back in the ball game now, so we'll have the Delaney brothers on the court at the same time. Has Paul Baxter fouled out also?
No, he has
he
4.
got 4. Right.
Yeah. And John Dewey
he's still over there to play. Of course, he's such a great defensive player. Surprised they're not doing a little offense-defense.
Regardless of what happens tonight, Bearcats will have that young man, John Dewey III, for 2 more seasons. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists tonight. Came in as the conference's assist leader. Traven Thibodeau. 71% from the line.
I'm always happy when I see players put a lot of arch on a free throw. It certainly gives you a much better chance to get the friendly roll into the bucket.
This does come down to free throws. Privateers have the advantage. Their top 5 scorers are 70% or better from the stripe.
Yeah, and they're an outstanding 71.5% as an entire team for the year. That's exceptional. Brother to brother on that pass.
Henderson got it. They're within 6.
Well, how about that? I kept saying, get the ball to Dakari Henderson, get a stop, and get it to him again, Bearcats.
4-3 for Henderson. Coming up on 2 minutes left, and somehow it's a 2-possession game. There's some tussling between Butler and Poe. Now, Poe is just
look at this, doing a little weave out front is all there was. That was the pass from Cameron Delaney to Josh Delaney, and then the handoff to Dakari Henderson.
Now, this was smart. You don't see it often, fouls on purpose away from the ball, but Poe is just 50% from the line coming in. And no doubt that was on purpose from Butler.
Well, what an impressive comeback for the Bearcats. Let's see if it can continue here.
Mark Schlesinger nervously looks on.
A big free throw. That makes it a 3-possession game. That was crucial with 1:58 to go in the game.
UNO's in the double bonus the rest of the way. 13-3 Bearcat run. Josh Delaney challenges Thibodeau. Butler saves it.
Great effort by Butler.
Now want to cut it to 4. And a foul on Galbraith, and he has fouled out.
Galbraith had some tough fouls in tonight's ball game. That's a shame after the great performance he had last night. And the Bearcats' victory over HBU.
Wait now, I thought they had pointed to Galbraith, and he even looked up at the sky thinking the foul was on him. But we'll take it back. Foul was called on Cameron Delaney instead, so Galbraith gets to stay in as Gustavius Gill hits the first.
Well, Gill has been such a big part of this success story for UNO here tonight, both offensively and defensively.
Lead back up to 9. Cameron Delaney, I'll tell you what, he didn't see the floor at all, and what an impact he's made the last couple of minutes.
That's a perfect word for it, David. He is an impact player. Coming off the bench so late in the ball game. Haven't seen him play, I don't believe, in either one of the first 2 games here of the tournament, but what a difference he has made. Let's see if he can make a couple of more free throws like he did a while ago.
In 13 games this season, he didn't play at all, averaging 10 minutes a game coming in.
Well, you can see how quick and aggressive he is, and good decision by Jason Hooten and his staff to get him in the ball game.
Still a chance to cut it to 8, and now Mark Schlesinger takes Poe out. Gets a much better free throw shooter and Broyles in.
Well, and of course, Broyles also a very good ball handler. 6'4", he's got a real advantage because he can see over most defenders out on the perimeter to make the pass.
6 for Cameron Delaney. 8-point game, 1:37 to go. UNO without a field goal in 4 minutes. Just make them down to free throws. They foul Fry 81% from the line coming in. And 2 of 5 tonight, however.
Well, I like Fry's game. I like players that use their God-given strengths, and he is a very strong, physical young man. Very impressive. Nothing but net on that one.
He's the son of New Orleans high school legend Freddie Fry. As mentioned, football star and, of course, basketball star at Houma Christian in Louisiana. That's just south of Thibodaux, where Nichols is located.
Well, he showed that 81% expertise right there. Hit nothing but net. Now back up to a 10-point advantage after getting it down to 6.
Sam needs threes. They have 8 tonight, 4 from Dakari Henderson. SFA, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Our nightcap on Semifinal Friday in Katy. Steal, Fry. He didn't have to shoot.
Well, he got bumped on that play. Torrey Butler got fortunate. He didn't get called for a foul there.
And Thibodaux cuts off the pass. Out of bounds, Bearcat ball. Three-point shooting not a strength of this Bearcats team, although as just mentioned, Dakari Henderson's been hot from beyond the arc. And 63s on the season. Jason Hooten has just taken his last time out.
Well, certainly Sam Houston State has got to gamble here on offense and on defense. Look for them to try to go to Dakari Henderson some way from this out-of-bounds situation.
And my mistake, not a timeout. Officiating crew is reviewing this.
Yeah, in the last 2 minutes, you can review out-of-bounds calls.
It's Kerry Sitton and Brooks Wells. Looked like Thibodaux touched it last on first glance. This is a better angle, and that's closer.
Yeah, you couldn't tell if it bounced off a Poe's knee, but that's what they're calling it right there. Look right here. It looks like it's going to go right off of Poe, evidently.
The conclusive evidence to overturn the original call, which gave the ball.
It's got his knee right there.
Yeah.
The officials are looking at the same thing we are. Let's see if they're as smart as we are, partner. Yep, they made the call.
I'm happy when we're as smart as the officials, quite frankly. It is Sam basketball. Sam Houston State, 21 wins on the season. They've made it to the CIT the last 3 years, but of course Jason Hooten and his team want more, and they need quite the comeback to still have a shot at the NCAA. Torrey Butler. Out of bounds, UNO basketball.
A great job of blocking out by UNO on a very crucial situation there with 56 seconds to go in the game. I've seen 10-point leads evaporate with less seconds left than this. Let's see if a miracle can take place here tonight.
Bearcats at home, February 25th, trailed Abilene Christian by 8:40 seconds left, scored 13 points in the final 40 seconds.
Oh, isn't that great execution? Oh, that was absolutely phenomenal. Well, my hat's off to the Privateers for that. Sam Houston stayed up, pressuring all out, and they make the great play off of speed.
Henderson couldn't get the gratuitous roll and a foul. UNO, 5 seasons ago, they were planning to leave Division I. Dr. Peter Foss, the president of UNO, who was in attendance here tonight, 2 months after being announced as president, changed UNO's course, saying, we're staying in Division I, and there he is. Without him, UNO may not even be here. And yet, 5 years after his announcement, the Privateers, regular season conference champs, and 40.5 seconds away from the title game tomorrow night.
Well, tip of the hat to UNO. Watch this attack off the press. Just get it into the baseline, and the conference's MVP breaks past the orange-shirted defenders and gets another assist for the Privateers.
Mark Schlesinger says it's been a continuous grind, but oh, the dividends that grind has paid off here. 2016, 2017. He's beloved around campus.
Well, they just do so much community work, David. That's what I admire about them.
Yep. Multiple times volunteering at Special Olympics events. Coach Sless even goes to board meetings on the UNO campus so that board members can know the basketball team personally. He says, I'm in sales. I got to try to get the student body to come to games instead of pizza night somewhere else.
Well, I never got invited to board meetings when I coached. I can tell you that. He's got a little connection there.
I don't know if he was invited. I think he just showed up. What a story.
Well, UNO did a great job of handling the great comeback by Sam Houston State. Cut it from 14 to 6 in moments.
And so UNO against either SFA or Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Privateers won the only meeting with the Islanders this season that was early on in the conference slate, and they split with SFA, both teams winning on its home floor. Galbraith off the mark. UNO has done it. The top seeds are on to championship Saturday.
Well, the UNO Privateers showed me something tonight, not just on offense, not just on defense, but with great passing of the basketball and terrific intensity and enthusiasm.
Our Southland strong player of the game for UNO is Christavius Gill.
Well, he's another one that had a great all-round game, just like his teammates. He not only hit the big three-point shots, but he made some great defensive plays. Got 2 steals in the ball game. Right there, jumping in front of Dakari Henderson and taking it the length of the floor. Here, making the nice outside jump shot from that left corner. He is an honorable mention All Southland Conference player. If there's 15 players in the league better than him, you know this is a great conference.
One of 4 players in double figures, Christavius Gill, on to the title game tomorrow night. Well, for my broadcast partner, Jim Haller, Randy McElvoy, our statistician, Gene Duffy, our entire JWP crew, I'm David Salzman, saying so long from the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. UNO off to championship Saturday, knocking off Sam Houston State 75-63. Coming up in a half hours, our second semifinal, SFA and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. To watch this entire game on replay, log on to WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the Southland Conference and ESPN.